That would be great, wouldn't it?
You know how they film them? You know how they sometimes play on the far side of Kambah?
Yeah, I was there on Friday. Yeah.
Well, what do I can literally put the battery set and just put it in the middle of the
Yeah. Yeah, but then you can't commentate from there, mate. It's about 10 mile away. Can't see that far. Take off the you'll be alright.
Yeah, I reckon so, because
It's not going to rain anymore, mate.
well, no, it's no
Oh, it's nice and warm on my ears. What's that, mate? Yeah, which is great, isn't it? The overcast is going to make it nice for us, but freezing cold and horrible for everyone else.
That's the trade-off, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
Something else, Luke? I can't sit down, you must have come back here. Leave your bag there.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kambah 2 National Premier League action from the heart of the south of Tuggeranong. It's Tuggeranong United versus Monaro Panthers in National Premier League round 10. My name is Russ Gibbsy and Worthington is alongside me at the back of the bleachers on an overcast, quite miserable grey day here in Canberra. It's been raining nearly all morning, Ian, but now it's early afternoon and, well, you know, the rain has gone away and we've got a little bit of sunshine coming through, but it's still a bit cold.
Good afternoon, Russ. I don't know where you're looking for this sunshine, but
it came through a little bit earlier when you weren't here.
Oh, right, okay, I must have missed it. I've been getting drenched in Boomanello, Narrabunda, all morning. But, yeah, good to be here. Looking forward to this one. Looking out the pitch, it's a bit of a leveller, and Monero are looking strong out there at the moment, but I'm not sure whether they'll fancy this pitch or not.
To be honest, I walked on it earlier. It's actually quite good, and the rain's done itself a favour because the bits which was sandy earlier in the season is now bedded in with that rain. It's actually probably a better surface than what it was at the start. And that rain before, you'll be able to watch it when the guys are warming up here. It zips the ball across the surface too. Just to let you know what's going on elsewhere today. Down at Solomad Stadium, it's Ugali 0, Canberra, Croatia 3. Marko Jadric and Ryan Keir in the first half. They got a third not too long ago, Canberra, Croatia. They're about to go 9 points clear at the top of the table, Ian, which might be, even at this stage, a long way away for everybody else.
Certainly is. And only saw them in the week last against Monero, and they got an extremely good free kick in the last minute of what was a very tight game. But, you know, are they running away with it at this point of the season? Well, maybe not running away with it, but they've certainly got a nice gap, haven't they?
Well, and it was helped yesterday by O'Connor Knights beating Tigers by 2-1 over at the AIS. Geno Cerruti twice within a minute. And then Lukman Ahmed Shaibu on debut for Tigers, pulled one back in the 90th minute. But O'Connor got themselves a win, which puts them on to 10 points. Great recovery for them, considering the amount of players that they lost throughout the course of the transfer window so far.
Yeah, great win for O'Connor Knights yesterday, and points that were well needed. A little bit of surprise considering how well Tigers have been playing recently. And yeah, they got the 2 goals from Geno Cerruti. The second one extremely well taken with the lob over the goalkeeper. And yeah, a valuable 3 points if you are with O'Connor Knights.
I was at High Street yesterday with Frank Keisha, where it finished Queanbeyan City 2, Gungahlin United 2. Josh Kaspari gave Gungahlin the lead, and a brace of goals from Nico Abbott, wonderful back heel and a penalty as well, put the Queanbeyan City ahead, only for Charlie Didario Giancarlo to score in the 85th minute to level up at 2 apiece. Marko Savkovic sent off 20 minutes from time. Queanbeyan were hanging on a little towards the end, but probably did enough to deserve their point.
Yeah, didn't see it. Was watching Tigers O'Connor Knights. You know,
you were flicking between the two.
Kept flicking between the two, as may have come out on commentary, and you know, the surnames of certain players who were on the pitch over at High Street, and I believe I'm under scrutiny today.
I've got no Galich or Palic today, so I should be okay. Don't know where my brain was going yesterday afternoon. I'm frazzled, my friend. I need a bit of a break for sure. Not going to get it this afternoon, though, because we are right here looking at 2 teams that want 3 points. Monero Panthers could close the gap to Canberra, Croatia to 8 points should they get a win this afternoon against Tuggeranong. A Tuggeranong win will put them within 2 of the Panthers as well. So this is a big game, isn't it, for both teams?
It is. And every time I seem to watch Tuggeranong, I always say they're getting better and better. And, yeah, they seem to be doing so. This is their home. They've certainly made some good additions at the start of the season who they brought into the team, and I'm sure you're going to go on to that very soon. But looking forward to seeing some of the players I've not seen in their current colours yet this season.
There's been 6 draws in 25 NPL matches between these two teams. Wonder what price that will be again today. Monero will start favourites, of course, led by Daniel Balac with his 10 goals this season. They're missing Stephen Dominici today. He's suspended. And they found the ring. Excellent work. Sorry, Paul McCord just came off. They found the wedding ring before kickoff. One of the fans had thrown the ball back in the 23s, and his ring had come off. Wedding ring had come off behind the goal. over there, over to our right, and we were all looking for it in the grass, and yeah, they found it, which is great news.
Good. You get a prize for the person who found it?
You know, I mean, the gentleman who lost his wedding ring gets a prize, doesn't he?
Did he
Gets his wedding ring back?
Did he lose it on purpose?
Doesn't get in trouble. Absolutely.
Not casting no as
Anyway,
aspersions.
that's a bit of an aside. Thanks for that, Paul McCord. Stephen Dominici suspended. Dylan Deep Jones injured. They're a little bit short. The interesting thing for Monero Panthers today is in goal. Gary Memitage is chosen in front of Heath Illich, we're led to believe. I'll just double check that as well. But that is the case, Ian. It's a big call from the Monero Panthers coaching staff.
It's a huge call. We don't see them in training. We don't know the reasons for that. I'm sure Paul Mako would be able to give us an answer if we ask. But, Gary Memitage, more than capable. Apart from me pronouncing his surname, like I say, under scrutiny. But one thing's for sure, that he's a decent goalkeeper.
Yeah, I understand Heath Illich was carrying a little bit of a knock on the Wednesday game against Kambah, Croatia, and maybe that is why he's not quite 100% to play this afternoon. Let's have a look at these two teams anyway, starting with Tuggeranong United, who have gone with a 5-3-2 formation today. Very interesting setup by Mitch Stevens. Callum Cook will continue in goal. The wing-backs in the 5-3-2, Cassidy Schlesinger for the second time at right back, Luke Sakamoto at left back, three in central defence. Sam Walker continues there alongside Dylan Burkray and Cole Falco. Midfield sees Bevan Foxall, Josh Pedersen and Luke Stevens as the three, and that leaves Nick Emmanuel to partner Steve Neelan up front. James Benevento, Tim Santos, Javier Davis, Romeo Jambrek and Alessandro Pena are on the bench. Interesting, isn't it, the formation, particularly with the continued use of Sam Walker in central defence in the absence of Ewan Peterkin?
Yeah, it's a new one on me to see Sam Walker there, usually so positive going forward, either as attacking midfield player or as a striker, as he has been playing in the back. But Mitch Stevens likes a three at the back on this pitch here. It's not particularly wide. It can become a three at the back. It can easily become a 4 or a 5, and just cementing that defensive side of the game that Mitch is so very good at.
Monero Panthers, well, for their part, they go with a 3-5-2. So slightly different, but samey-same as we look at the lineups. Gary Memitage, as I mentioned, makes his first start of the season and his fourth NPL appearance in goal for the Panthers. Max Melik, Robert Kachenko and Marco Gaia are the chosen back three. Kachenko playing in the middle of the central defence. Last time he did that, they were beaten 2-1 by Queanbeyan City at High Street. Ryan Straub and Callum Smith will be the midfield pairing. Callum Smith starting his first NPL match for a long time. His 81st overall and a debut in Monero colours. Fernando, Zach McLaren and Christian Kreskus will be the line in front of those. Kreskus and Fernando will play wide. McLaren will be given licence to roam. For Keddy Manda, partners Daniel Baratra up front in the absence of Stephen Dominici. The bench, Heath Illich is the substitute goalkeeper. There's welcome return for Patrick Mitchell, who's been out for a long time. Sam Rosbachen is in line for another second Monero Panthers debut, having been off the NPL scene for quite some time. Jack Elwood, the young left-sided player, and Mitchell Jervis Hamilton will provide forward cover.
Yeah, players coming back into the team, players coming back onto the bench who've been away for a while, like you say. Nice to see that Sam Rosbachen's returned to Monero Panthers and to the team. Patrick Mitchell the same. And Zach McLaren's had an extremely good month from getting himself back into the team and really owning that place. And finally, well, Robbie Chichenko at centre back. He can play anywhere, can't he? So let's see whether he can play well today.
Timely return of Mitchell and Rosbachen with the absence of the three players that left. I don't know if this tells you anything, but Zach McLaren, 66 NPL appearances, 6 goals. The old 666 in the middle of the park for Zach McLaren.
I see what you're referring to.
Absolutely,
there.
And I'm sure everyone that's played with him will let you know that he's a bit chirpy, isn't he, Zach?
He's a little devil, isn't he?
He is, absolutely, but that's a little bit of a quirk of a number fates that we've got going on here. We're waiting for the match officials to bring us out. Harrison Cracknell will referee the game. Harold Spanner will be one of the assistants, and Sarin Teatrigal the other. Now, we're supposed to kick off at 3, but this being NPL Canberra, we'll kick off whenever we feel like it. Justin Kapowski's next to me on the camera. He's ready to go. We're ready to go. The teams have been announced. Everyone else is here. The youngsters in the Optus Sport jerseys were running around and enjoying their 5-a-side as well. But we've got some time to kill now. waiting for everything to happen. Women's Premier League today. West Canberra Wanderers will play Majura, and Belconnen United are playing Tuggeranong United up at Mackellar. You can keep across those on the Capital Football YouTube channel, of course. A reminder, if you have tuned in, Ugadi 0, Canberra, Croatia 3, with quarter of an hour to go down at Solomad Stadium. Canberra, Croatia looking like they're going to go 9 points clear at the top. Will Monaro Panthers cut that gap, or will Tuggeranong United cut the gap to the Panthers? We will find out very shortly. The teams next to us with the young mascots bringing themselves out. Panthers in their pink and whites. Striking kit, isn't it? And Tuggeranong kit as well. They're in the away kit at home today, Tuggeranong United.
I thought so, that they usually go with the green and white stripes, but as both teams are green and white and green and black, it's quite interesting to see quite a nice Tuggeranong United kit as they bring out some very, very young mascots, and it's absolutely brilliant for Tuggeranong United to see.
The irony is that on all the other games that they've been playing over their age grade, Tuggeranong wore their green and white hoops, and Monero wore this kit that they're wearing out here. So I don't know why it's different for first grade, but I don't know. I mean,
maybe it's for television reasons. You would know.
I mean, they didn't ask me, that's for sure. What they did show me earlier today, though, is the release of the Tuggeranong United player trading cards, which are going great guns in the canteen over there. There's a whole pile of them around, floating around. Players. Look, there's one. We're getting past one now. It's Peter Reid and Mark Reid, this father and son duo, the team kit managers in our pocket there. I've got a Mitch Stevens as well. Every single player out there has got cards. Kids are loving it. They're buying them and they're getting the players to sign them and everything. It's a great initiative. For the adults, there's also a new Tuggeranong United range of beverage. There's a Pilsner Lager, I believe, and a Pale Ale as well. If you're of that ilk, you like that kind of thing, might get you one later, Ian.
Yeah, might do. I've got a Pepsi at the moment. But,
well, it's because you're working, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Professional as ever. And
but isn't it a great initiative? They've got their own beverages. They've got their own cards, player cards. They're trying to do the right thing down here. You would have seen over the last few weeks that we've been commentating on home games here that they've got their ball plinth, they've got their flags out there as well, Ian. It's progressive, I think it is, as you would say.
And that's great. And the littlest of mini-roos that are buzzing around and gone out with the players, like you say, and it's a great opportunity for parents to take those pictures with them. And
you can't see on camera, but behind us is Dylan Deep Jones and Adam DiFranceschi, the walking wounded behind us. We'll get a quick chat. Dylan, how long are you out for? Back next week. Excellent. Defran a little bit longer. Yeah.
His game just clashed. His coaching game clashed. That's why he's not in the team. This injury thing's made up. I mean, it's a bit different with Adam DiFranceschi. He's got a brace around his knee, so his left knee. So yeah, we've heard what's happened to DiFran, sadly, and he ain't going to be back for a while. So wishing him all the best. So that's those two, and Stephen Domenici's to our left with his wife, who's saw them the other day in Chemist Warehouse, and she's due to give birth any time now.
Very soon.
Lovely conversation with them. Lovely couple. Always nice to speak to, and wish them all the best.
Believe it or not, this is round 10, but this is Tuggeranong's third home match of 2025. They've drawn the other two so far. Teams have met 25 times in the NPL. Tigers have 9 wins, Tuggeranong 10, 6 draws. In 10 matches at Kambah, Tuggeranong won 7, Panthers twice, 1 draw, and in total there have been 84 goals scored so far. Panthers edge that count 45-39. That's your stats, and only 5 minutes late. We are almost ready to go. Steve Nealon with the bandage on the left hand, which has become almost ceremonial now, isn't it? I don't think he actually needs it anymore. We're waiting for our referee, Harrison Cracknell, to get us underway. Tuggeranong attacking the goal to our left in their green. Panthers to our right. Wonderful afternoon. Freezing cold though, but we will get through it, Ian Worthington. And looking forward to this one. Luke Stevens' early ball for Nealon, trying to release the goal-scoring machine.
Changed ends, I noticed. Why would they change ends today? There's no wind, there's no sun, there's not much of a slope. Why would you happen to know that they've changed ends? Why would they do that?
Maybe they fancy attacking that end in the second half. Maybe
because of the fans behind the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Stretford end in the second half, is that right?
I don't know, but you just nearly choked me to death by standing on my lead.
What? Like you're dog leash.
I turned around to speak to you, and anyway,
yeah,
people can't see that.
Early run down the left flank for Crescas up against Burkray, who comes across to win it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask Mitch Stevens afterwards whether they turned him around, whether they just fancy it the other way. Normally, the sun sets to our right, so that will make a difference, but
there's no sun.
Cast and horrible today. So.
Yeah. Zach McLaren took an early hit there in the middle of midfield.
For Kenny Mander's gone down. It will be a free kick to the Panthers. A friend of mine, Steve Russell, is watching. He loves the bandage hand comment. He was the one that mentioned it to me the other day. Go, why do players do it? And I'm like, well, I don't know, Rusty. Who knows? It must be makes them feel better. Ryan Straub with this free kick whips it into the area, looking for the head of Fernando. Very visual pick up that by Steve Russell, isn't it, about the bandage hands?
But like you say, it's generally there might have been an injury quite a while ago, and it's just almost become superstitious. And he's a good player, Steve, and he's having a very good run, so maybe that's his thing.
Nick Emmanuel looked like he might have been offside there. Flag stayed down against him. Interesting to see that Callum Smith gets the nod in midfield today for the Panthers. It's been a long time between NPL first grade games for him. It's a big part of Frank Aisha's Canberra Olympic squad that did the treble back in, I think it was 2016.
There's a little patch just here, just for your bum.
Probably wrapped up in his mansion, Frank, at the moment. Nice and warm. He'll have his big fire on and his helicopter outside. Won't be able to fly today. It's a bit overcast.
Well, first chance for Cole Falco to launch one into the penalty area. When he turned up this afternoon, it was drizzling with rain. He looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. To launch that into the area, though. Smith won the header. Straub's got it away. Misjudged by Schlesinger, and Manda is offside. Cassidy Schlesinger made his debut in the 0-0 draw at South Jerebombra in midweek. Got a few of the Optus kids in front of us. Little mascots eating their sausage sandwich. Ben Leach is down as well, former Tuggeranong legend himself. Fernando. They're making you hungry, aren't they?
Yes. I didn't have a chance to sample the delights of the Tuggeranong canteen beforehand. Someone was rushing me to try and
do you know what?
get on commentary on time.
You could have turned up on a bit earlier, couldn't you?
I could have. Well, I couldn't actually, no.
How did the 16s go this morning?
They won 2-1.
Not 2-1 victory. How was Monaro as a venue?
Great venue, a lot of potential in there. If it could be used just for football, that would be absolutely wonderful, but sadly it doesn't. And, but yeah,
there's some midweek matches.
I
think Tuggeranong there under the lights in midweek. So we will
Tigers are there under the lights. So
here's Kachenko under pressure from Neelan. First touch from Memitaj. Finds Marco Gaia. And you've been a substitute goalkeeper for quite a long time. It is a big responsibility handed to him, but he must have been champing at the bit to try and get a run. Ian, so first start of the season for Gary Memitaj, only his fourth NPL start in his career. Has got the distinction, though, of having come on as a substitute in the Australia Cup qualifying rounds last year and scoring a goal.
He did, I remember.
And a good one, too.
And look, I'm sure, without knowing factually, he would have had opportunities to go and sign at other clubs and get his chance, but he stayed very loyal to Monaro Panthers through the 23s and then into the first team, and you know, got his chance, and yeah, it'd be good to see that he takes it today.
Pedersen clobbered in midfield. Free kick opportunity for Luke Stevens for Tuggeranong United. They will send forward Sakamoto, Dylan Burkray, Sam Walker, the three defensive options. Stevens has a wicked left foot delivery. He could put this into somewhere dangerous whipped into that box. Membertage comes. Walker got there. And I think all the power was taken out of it. Membertage looking to go long for Barach. Did brilliantly to keep it in. Unfortunately, presented it straight to Sakamoto.
He managed to receive that ball.
Falco over the top. Sakamoto's offside.
Managed to receive that and actually dodge the pole as well in the middle and bounce it back to his right back. He just wasn't high enough to play forward from there at the time.
That's why you do those agility drills, right, with the poles. Just for that exact moment, right?
When you say you don't mean me,
no,
do
I mean,
you?
When you're coaching.
Okay, yeah.
Because I've seen you do this.
I've not done that sort of thing for a long time. If ever, actually.
The only thing you've dodged lately is a salad.
Yeah. Oh, goodness me. I was going to say I used to kick a few poles, but you know.
Fernando finds Barach. Back for Fernando again.
You don't win friends with salad.
No, you don't. That's a true story. Into the penalty area. Kreskas won the header. Not on target. Callum Cook, who incidentally has got about 500 of those player cards. There was an extra print run of Callum Cook for some reason, and there's so many Callum Cooks around you can collect in the Tuggeranong trading card range.
Are there any that are special edition ones?
Oh, there is a shot stopper. There is a very special edition. There's a Steve Nealon golden boy card, which he's signed a couple of as well. I say signed, he's put SN on it or something like that. I think that's his signature these days. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there's a couple of those cards floating around. Very rare. I've seen one or two of them. Here's Nick Emmanuel.
They're very rare, but you've seen one or two.
Yeah,
they're not that rare,
well,
are
they? Are,
they?
because people that have got them are quite proud and are showing them off.
Including Steve, I presume.
I presume he's got one. I mean, he signed his own card. I don't know. Fernando. Medic's ball forward. Fernando, formerly a Tuggeranong United player, looking for Manda. Walker's come across to get there. Took control of the situation. The most popular card, I'm told, though, is the Nicholas Emmanuel one, because it's him. It's a Titan card, and he's there doing his guns out, arms up, strength pose. And apparently, after he scored last week, he did it, and now all the kids want the card because they saw him do the celebration. So it's a way to brand yourself, right?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Anyway, that's enough of that. If any other clubs want to do some trading cards, knock yourself out. It'll be great. Cook forward. Almost came off Emmanuel. Here's Fernando off the knee. Not sure there was much contact there from Stevens. Emmanuel looking to put it in behind. Schlesinger will chase. Nematage got away. Panthers wanted a free kick. I don't think there was contact between Stevens and Fernando. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ian.
I think he was expecting the contact and it never came. He ended up just sat below him.
They went early for Kreskas, but they'll come back for another go. Monero Panthers.
Schlesinger. One for Frank Case, yeah?
You got one there. Schlesinger?
Him?
Yeah.
Was he up in Sydney for
He
a
was
while?
at Blacktown City.
Yeah.
For a little bit. Good signing for Tuggeranong United.
Can I just refer to him as Cassidy from now on, because I'm so useless about pronunciations?
Normally I'd say yes, but after the messages you kept sending me yesterday, not in the slightest, no.
I just wondered who Goss Gaspari was every time he got the ball.
Here's Amanda. It was Gaspari.
Since when he's been called Goss?
His mates all call him Goss, mate.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which you must be one of them.
Absolutely. Straub finds Callum Smith. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
We are struggling if we can't pronounce Callum Smith.
Fernando. Smith. A little nod to the 12th man there, something you might not have heard before as well. Ian, very famous Australian satire.
I haven't.
Barach in towards Manda. Happy to go the long way round. Doesn't mind a hit from here as well, and that's awkward. And that's a good stop from Callum Cook. Pushed it away from Barach as well. Would have seen it late, the goalkeeper. Dealt with it well.
We had a great view of it, didn't we? But I'm not sure whether the goalkeeper did until very late. So therefore, good stop and also pushed it away from danger.
Gaia to swing it into the box. It would almost reach Barach. Burkray made sure it didn't. In away matches this season, Ian, Monero Panthers have managed to score just 3 goals. 1 against Queanbeyan, 2 against Tigers. Compare that to the 28 they've managed at home. It's quite remarkable, isn't it, the way that they have struggled away from home in front of goal.
Well, it's quite remarkable how many goals they've scored at home as well. They've been absolutely ruthless, and I've seen some brilliant performances from them this season so far.
Good win by Manuel. Neelan beaten to it by Kichenko. Free kick goes the way again of the Panthers. Tuggeranong have conceded 13 goals in their last 4 NPL matches, but they have in fact won one of those games. That was the 4-2 win against Gungahlin. Up at Gungahlin enclosed. Steve Neal and Nick Emanuel got the final 2 goals that day. The first 2 were scored by Romeo Yambrek and Bevan Foxall. And you see that shining through the clouds here, and that's just for you. Bit of sunshine.
Beautiful, huh?
Cole Falco launches it forward. Manuel again causing a nuisance. Neelan buzzing around. It's a good looking ball too. It's going to cause a problem for Memitage. He needed to come and make it his own, and he did. Came off Zach McLaren last. And immediately Melik wants to push Manda forward. Scored a goal on debut. Were beaten, of course, on Wednesday in, but it's a cracking goal for Keddy Manda.
Yeah, it was. Seemed to come off the outside of his foot, didn't it, and bend into the other corner. It was a great strike. And, yeah, great start to his time at Monaro Panthers.
Tasked with a slightly different role in the absence of Dominici today. Will partner Daniel Barach in a loose front 2. Smith sends it in towards Barach. Cook came. Schlesinger clears. Nick Emanuel will chase. Won't quite keep it in. He is very rapid across the ground, Nick Emanuel. We've seen him play fullback for most of the season. Playing up front as well isn't an issue. Ugali have pulled one back down at Solomad. Ugali 1, Canberra, Croatia 3. Quarter of an hour gone at McKellar. Fair to say Balcony United's women's team have got the points in the bag already. Balcony 3, Tuggeranong 0 after 15 minutes. That might be a long afternoon for Tuggeranong United in their women's section.
Yes, quite possibly.
Here's Ryan Straub. Problem they've got with that Balcony team as well, and we've seen them plenty this season, is that they'll not stop, will they? They might be 3-0 up and cruising towards the points already, but they never stop hunting for goals.
No, that's very true, isn't it? That they don't hold back and just hang on for a 1 or 2 goal lead. They keep going for it, and yeah, they've shown that on several occasions at home this season.
We'll keep you up to date with everything that's going around as much as we can. Ryan Straub with this corner kick. Whipped in towards the near post. Fernando met it. Sakamoto half away. Fernando. Cole Falco coming across. Wants to shepherd it out, but it won't go out. In the end, he does well, the American defender. He's still in play by the halfway line. Max Melik kept it in. For those of you that follow the CPL, there's a little bit of a change to the report that I posted last night. Apparently Dribble had a couple of goal scorers wrong on Canberra Juventus. The first goal for Jasper Millen, and the second goal for Christian Baresi. The first of what we thought was 2 for him. Well, it's actually a brace for Jack Matic. So we will update those for you a little later. Don't want to take the goals away from Matic. Kichenko might come for Neelan. Goes down under the challenge.
I think if he goes down early there, that's a penalty. I think if he's a little bit smarter there, he has gone through the side of him, and he sort of tried to stay on his feet, and maybe going down for a penalty would win his team a penalty there.
Maybe there was a little bit of ball involved. Harrison Cracknell was right on the spot. We saw a penalty given for handball against Thomas Robertson yesterday, and then one not given against Noah van der Poel, and it came up off his knee.
That's why it wasn't handball, right?
Yeah, I
it
think
came
so.
off his
Yeah,
knee.
absolutely, because it ricocheted up into his hand. That's why how I understand it. If it comes
off his knee.
Well, no, come off his knee into his arm.
I see, right.
Yeah. I mean, just like this isn't handball from Max.
No, that's right, because it's at his foot.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. It's a confusing game sometimes, isn't
Absolutely
it?
Absolutely.
Here's Ryan Straub, also not
We
handball.
make it sound it.
For Kenny Manda. Yeah, off his knee into his hand. They say they're not given, although I have seen them given. But apparently they shouldn't be. So that's clear as mud, isn't it?
Just had a message off the mayor.
I got one as well.
Oh, I thought it was a bit special then.
You're not special.
Oh.
He told me he was going to come today, but now he's saying it's too cold.
No, he's sat in his sat at home,
Absolutely.
watching in his ivory tower. But yeah, he was telling me that the 12th man I need to borrow, and it's fully part of my Australian citizenship.
Oh,
he thinks it's one of the questions. So
Kenrick Winchester, the mayor of Queanbeyan, would have very much appreciated the Smith comment. Here he is, Callum Smith, on cue. Will he have a go? It's come off of Cole Falco, Sakamoto. Yeah, he told me it was too cold to come today. He's a Canberra Raiders supporter that goes out to GIO Stadium when it's minus 26 degrees and snowing, but it's too cold at Kambah. Here's McLaren, rides the first challenge. Walker away. Stevens helps it on. Smith invites Marco Gaia into a shooting position and have a crack. And it takes a nick, and Monaro Panthers will get themselves a corner. Kids are playing with the trading cards in front of us. I saw a Jimmy Benevento down there.
Did you?
Yeah. He's Tuggeranong's substitute goalkeeper. He's back from a holiday. Over on the bench. Kreskus with the corner kick for Monero Panthers. Sweeps it in towards Gaia. It came off Emmanuel. Thumb clear by Foxall. Fair a bit of pace on that one.
Are you on any of those cards? It's like
I'm not on one of those cards.
Did they do like old timers, or what did they call them?
Has-beens?
Has-been. No, the never beans card.
Mandarin. Balach down. No, I didn't make this. I didn't make Series 1. Hopeful to make Series 2.
They must be doing Hall of Famers or something.
Come off the back of Emmanuel. Handball, apparently. Did score enough goals, apparently.
You scored on your debut.
And regularly thereafter, but not enough to get in the card, mate.
Okay.
Yesterday's hero. I'll make a card up special for you. We'll do football Canberra cards. There you go.
Yeah.
Balach finds Smith. McLaren. Fernando. Melik. Moving the ball nicely, the Panthers. Shot from Manda, the only one that's tested Cook so far. He might test him more. Great cutback, and Cole Falco was in the right place.
Pinned the centre-back, didn't he, and just found that little bit of space with his first touch, and it opened up, and good recovery from the second centre-back.
Sakamoto wanted one touch too many. Fakedi Manda charges it down.
Not seen Luke for a while. He cuts my grass, does Luke Sakamoto, and does a great job, does a bit of weeding as well.
If you haven't seen him for a while, your lawn must be overgrown then, is it?
Well, no, it's just not had any sun going onto it, so you know, it's not grown, but...
Charge down.
Always have a good chat when he sees, always find out what he's doing with his football and what his ambitions are, so I'm very pleased to see that he's getting this left-back spot at Tuggeranong in the first team. It's good to see.
You know how we often like to tell everybody out there about sports around the world as well? Darts World Cup's on at the moment, and England managed to somehow lose in the last 16 with the two best players in the world this morning. The players ranked 1 and 2 in the world, Luke Humphries and Luke Littler, lost to Germany in Berlin in the World Cup.
Of course.
Of course, I mean, it's a World Cup, England v Germany. What did you expect?
Doesn't matter what sport it is.
No. I was unsurprised. Two best darts players in the world, can't get it done. Foxall. Australia won, though. Beat Argentina 8-1 in their round of 16, and will play Germany in the quarterfinals for those of you that like that kind of thing.
Was Simon Whitlock in the team? Is he still playing?
Simon Whitlock and Damien Heta.
Okay.
Are the two Australian dartists. Big win against Argentina. Be one of the favourites now in the absence of the English pair. Here's Fernando. Manda almost linking up with Daniel Balach. Foxall got rid of it. Falco is up and down. It comes for Straub. Monero just starting to turn the screw a little bit here in terms of possession and territory. Melik backing himself and Sakamoto. That's a bit of an ugly challenge from him.
Pretty unnecessary as well. If he just shifts his feet, he shepherds him towards the corner flag. Doesn't need to dive in like that in that area.
And they are knocking politely on the door at the moment, the Panthers. Not exactly wrapping it down, but this is a great opportunity for Ryan Straub to deliver. Fernando's the closest target. Manda and Balach around the penalty spots. And it's in towards that area, and that's a brilliant finish. Classic goal from Christian Kreskas. He just came in and met it on the volley, and Cook had no chance. And we said the Panthers were knocking on the door. Well, now they found a way in. It's 1-0.
Timed it to perfection, didn't he? Timing of the run, great contact, and he's just looks like the inside of his right foot. He just pushed it into that bottom corner, and yeah, deserved. In all honesty, they've had the better of the game, as you were just saying only a moment ago, and yeah, deserving of the lead.
Second NPL goal of the campaign for Christian Kreskas. Third in all competitions, and 8th of his NPL career. A crisp finish from a free kick. It'll make Mitch Stevens very cross though, because there was a lot of green shirts back there to deal with that.
Well, cross that they didn't deal with the delivery, but you know, he won't be over enamoured by the fact that the challenge in the first place give the free kick away, and that's the consequences for not just defending properly.
Here's Cole. Fernando slides in. Now, where that free kick was taken in, close to being a corner, right? Is there an argument to perhaps, say, have someone on the post for that kind of free kick from that angle?
Angle's different, isn't it? He's about 5 metres further out, so you've got that whip if you've got a decent left foot, but either way, you can whip the ball from just a little bit deeper. And maybe have one at the back post. But it wouldn't have mattered with the goal, would it?
No, not with that one. My question, yeah, because normally you'd have players on the post. Might have been a simple clearance, but as it was, Kreskas scores. The sun comes out, and it's shining on Monaro Panthers at the moment. Just their 4th away goal of the season.
A lot of teams don't even settle with players on the posts anymore. They set up in different ways to manage what's coming up against them. So, free kick or corner, they might not have anyone on the post regardless.
Melik into the area, Walker away, Pedersen forward. You've got to have someone on the post here. There's enough players on the park for you to be able to give 2 of them an assignment on the post. Anyway, just my opinion. Kreskas forward, and Walker, who slipped awkwardly. There was a lot of rain on this beforehand. You would have been tasked, being a left back, to be on the post quite often, I would imagine.
Yeah, more often than not, actually, because I couldn't edit to save my life.
I was trying to be nice.
So I wasn't in there with the 6'3" centre-back coming in. Unless I got under his ribs a few times, that was always useful. Stop him jumping.
Yeah, it's quite often the fullbacks that are given that role, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah, then you've got to deal with it when it comes in and around your head. But different ways, 1 on the post, 2 on the post, none on the post. It's how your coach wants to set you up as a team and what you're playing against.
Balach, Fernanda, and now Straub. Kreskas. He's enjoying a good season, Christian Kreskas, and that's not a bad ball either. Berkray away. McLaren thought about the first time shots. Had a pop the second time. Tuggeranong can't get hold of it at the moment. Kuchenko, Kreskas, McLaren. Good run by Balach, offside though. Runs those angles really well. Just caught offside. It's finished down at Solomad. Ugali 1, Canberra, Croatia 3. So Croatia have a 9-point cushion at the top of the table. 43 goals they've now scored in 10 games in the league this season, Canberra, Croatia. Wednesday, June the 25th, they will find out who they are playing in the Australia Cup round of 32. The Hahn Australia Cup qualifying, a round of 32 draw will be held that night. As Canberra, Croatia represent the region for the 3rd time. Great competition, of course. We all love it. Here's Straub.
Very important for those younger players, isn't it? It puts them on that national stage, on that platform, where they just get a bit more exposure.
The win this afternoon over at Solomad, no Daniel Subasic, no Nicky Subasic, no David Saselja, no Thomas James. And yet they still come away with a 3-1 victory. Pretty impressive. Barach in, Fernando chasing, but I think it's out of play. They're trying to get a corner kick out of it, and I think they will. Must have come off a Tuggeranong player last.
Who knows? Linesman's 60 yards across the pitch, isn't he? And got 2 posts in the middle of him, so he can't see it. Referee's in a better position there to give them, and frustrates me that when the linesman makes decisions so far away when the ref's within 10 or 15 minutes of it. But there, it looks like the referee has actually taken control and give the corner.
10 or 15 metres, right? Not minutes. Because that'd be a long way
Depends
away.
how slow.
Kreska sends it in. You're halfway up the highway. Manda might try one. He does! And it wasn't far away. Seen him do that before for Kenny Manda. You got it from last time, Justin. Absolutely. He loves an overhead kick. Do you remember when I said that Belconnen United wouldn't let up? 28 minutes gone at McKellar. Belconnen United 6. Tuggeranong United 0.
Do you know the scorers?
No. we'll
just before you lose count.
Yeah, we'll find out at half-time, no doubt. We'll try and find out for you. Over at Melrose, 28 minutes in as well. West Canberra Wanderers 2, Majura 0. Both those games going as expected at the moment. Falco forward. Foxall controlled it nicely. He's had a good run of form, Bevan Foxall, over the last few weeks. And he's found Schlesinger with that pass. Kreska's missed it. Here is Schlesinger.
It's brilliant recovery from Zach McLaren to help his mate out, though, wasn't it? Back to his old self, Zach, in recent weeks. A couple of brilliant performances at home and then working his socks off out there today.
Wasn't first choice at the start of the season, but has made himself indispensable over the last 3 or 4 matches. Pedersen, stinging shot across the turf. It zipped into the hands of Memitaj, who's had a fairly quiet introduction to the season. His first game today. Transfer window still in full swing, of course. Here's Neelan intercepted. One back by Robert Kachenko. Steve Neelan is one that will be on the move, we understand. Not in this window, though, but at the end of the season, which is good for him. Emmanuel takes it down. Here's Foxall. It's going to be something from MacArthur, I'm told. That's not surprising, is it? Schlesinger goes around the outside.
Player with a very bright future. Quick, decent 1v1 situations, can finish. Oh, he's a young player that's still got so much to add to his game, of course, but he's certainly doing very well in Canberra at the moment.
11 goals this season in all competitions, 5 in the Cup, 6 in the league. Very profitable return for Steve Neelan as well, but his team trail here to the goal scored by this man, Christian Kreskas.
He's just a bit isolated on transition. Even if you look at the shape now that Tuggeranong have, they're very deep. It's 2 deep blocks, and there's quite a distance then between them and Steve Neelan. He's sort of working across the line by himself.
At the moment, Tuggeranong United haven't been able to string too many passes together. Monaro Panthers lead, and dare I say, Ian, they're quite comfortable with it at the moment.
Well, they are, because every time it goes into one area of the pitch in the final third, there only seems to be 1, maybe 2 players even up there. So to get them back in the game, they might have to change their approach.
Stevens, Foxall, challenge from McLaren, but Foxall rode it. Falco's been cleaned out off the ball by Daniel Barach. Referee's going to bring him back and give a card here for Daniel Barach. Second of the season for him. It was a unnecessary challenge from the forwards. He was late in the back of Cole Falco. Can protest his innocence all he wants there, Daniel Barach, can't he?
I'm just going to make this a duel in the air, aren't they? They're just going to pop it up on that angle and see what they can get.
Falco's done just that, looking for Emmanuel, who did win the header. Fernando away. Barach Smith looking for Manda, won by Dylan Burkray. Sam Walker sends one for Emmanuel to chase. Remember, Taj came, made it his. Made the decision very early, the goalkeeper.
Very early. He could have probably stood still and just caught it and got his team playing again, but just managed the danger.
Last season, Monero beat Tuggeranong just once in 4 matches played. That was the Cup semi-final. And the other 3, Tuggeranong won 1 and 2 were drawn. At the moment, it's Panthers who lead here, though. Falco winding up a long one in towards Walker, and United will get themselves a corner. An opportunity for Luke Stevens to swing one into the penalty area. Schlesinger and Foxall, the 2 that will defend. Well, one by McLaren. Drive was from Pedersen. Effort here from Neelan, blocked brilliantly by Straub. Out for Sakamoto. Nice drop of the shoulder. Couldn't find Neelan. McLaren away.
Opened up for him, didn't it? It was a great little touch inside. It just opened up. I was a bit surprised he didn't have a shot.
Barach has invited Manda forward, and he's quick and tricky up against Sam Walker. More used to going in the other direction, Walker. Manda into the middle. Very well covered by Bevan Foxall. Excellent piece of work for the midfielder, otherwise may well have been a tap-in. Got to enjoy midfielders who do that, Ian, don't you? The ones that recognise the danger and just drop into those areas to clear like that.
Yeah, anticipated where the ball was going to land. Unfortunately for him, Rant did run it out of play, even though he's having a little bit of an argument with the linesman, but it did go out of play.
Pedersen, Stevens, whips it into the penalty area. Barach and Fernando. Last couple of minutes, Tuggeranong have got themselves back into this a little bit. For the first time, Panthers' passes forward aren't sticking. Neelan.
It's compact, isn't it?
McLaren away. Pedersen to pop one through, and Foxall have made the run. It's a nice idea. But for most of the match so far that we've had, every time the Panthers have sent it forward, it's stuck. Just for the last 3 or 4, it's come back. Just past the half hour. Gutchenko sends it forward. Falco wins it. Fernando. Is Barach. Good footing by Foxall. Now he can drive and send Neelan on his way. Not much in the way of support at the moment. Schlesinger arriving on the far post. Neelan tries to tee one up, and Manuel went down and then gets back up and keeps going and squeezes it just past the post. Unlucky from Nick Emmanuel.
It was great play from Nick Emmanuel. Really, you've just got to have players taking a risk when that ball comes across and anticipate you can get on the end of it. Rolls across goal and there's nobody there.
He's difficult to stop when he goes through those runs forward, Nick Emmanuel. Here's Daniel Barach. And Walker slides in and will concede the corner. But stocky and pacey forward, isn't he, Emmanuel? He bounces off defensive tackles. We saw him score a goal here against Ugali, I think it was, in the Cup, where he did exactly that.
Decent feet, wiggled his way through, didn't he, and created that opening to slide it across goal.
Kreskus with the set piece then. It's Monero seek a second. Whipped in again to the danger area. Came off Emmanuel, didn't know where it was, but it fell kindly for Callum Cook. Kind of defensive header you like as a goalkeeper, isn't it? Doesn't know where it is, but goes straight to this man between the sticks. Straub intercepts the pass from Sakamoto. Smith, Barach helps it on. Here goes Manda up against Falco. Not a bad ball towards Straub. Burkray got there first. Sakamoto's challenge. Falco, half-hearted shouts of handball. Lovely interchange between Pedersen and Stevens. Now, that's not a bad ball for Schlesinger as well. 3 up in this attack. Fancies one. Well, struck it well enough, but not enough power to trouble Memitage.
Tuggeranong utilising that wide area of the break, didn't they? Then a nice little bounce pass interchange in midfield and then whipped it into that wide area.
Schlesinger is hacked down by Smith. Advantages played. Stevens trying to wriggle his way through. I wonder when that goes out whether Callum Smith might find himself with his name next to Daniel Balic in the notebook.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He might get away with it because of the length of time between now and potentially the ball going out, and whether or not the referee and his assistants deem it worthwhile. Here's Stevens. Gets away from Ellick. Opened up for him as well. Didn't fancy the shot.
And that's the second time a Tuggeranong player's got himself into that position and gone to play across goal rather than have a shot.
Maybe because it was on his right foot, not his left. Kreskas from Barac's pass. Straub brings it down. Well won back by Emmanuel. Stevens wants to send Nealon on his way. Pass isn't good enough.
But you're playing Stevie Nealon up against 2 players who are about a foot taller. He's not the type of player who wants it up against him back to goal and to have a fight centrally. He needs balls down side channels. He needs balls where he can create those opportunities to get 1v1, 1v1 situations. It's just got to be better decision making on the transition there.
It's McLaren. Marco Gaia. Kreskas making the run. Walker goes across. It's calmly done by Sam Walker. Kreskas sticking to the task though. And he's happy to concede a throw in down there. 8 minutes to the break. Christian Kreskas smartly taken volley the difference. McLaren. Straub does well to find space where there wasn't any. Fernando Barac. Looking for Fernando. Sakamoto is touch tight. Oh, that's well done by the Chilean. And Barac can deliver it into the middle. Kreskas arriving again. Well, I think the touch from Schlesinger beforehand was the telling one, as Kreskas was winding it up.
That's all right, because we usually do the other team as well, so it's just chucking it in.
Well won by Gaia.
I do. That's good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
What does Mitch Stevens need to do here,
Thanks, Louis.
Ian, to get his team back into this match? I mean, they're no way out of it. They're 1-0 down. They've not tested Memitage too much. Had a couple of long ranges to deal with.
With 2 things, he can either trust in how he set his team up to play and see whether they can get an outcome on the break. But as the longer the game goes on, they just need to be connected more across the front and in midfield behind. Too many times they've regained the ball and the distances are too big between what they have in midfield and what they have across the front. Forward players been a bit too isolated to certainly Stevie Nealon. And then they've got to get the right service to him as well. If they are going to isolate him, they need to get him in those spaces beyond rather than his back to goal.
Foxall tried to take it through. Are you also a little surprised that with Gary Memitage in goal, having not played a game this season, only 4 NPL games, that they've not tried a few more shots from range? Those opportunities that opened up on the edge of the box I'm mostly thinking about.
Yeah, those where they're cutting off the line. And
here's Foxall, come back to that in a minute. He does try one, and it's come off of Fernando, whose ankle, I think, might have rolled in the first instance. So it's actually Marco Gaia, my apologies. Wearing the number 3. Yeah, they've not tested him too much, have they?
Not when they've got those openings where the first touch inside has been really positive and it opens up for that shot, and then it's just one pass too many, or delivering the ball across rather than shooting at goal.
Maybe it'll be now with Luke Stevens from the set piece. Plenty of green shirts to aim for in the penalty area. He only picks out Fernando. Comes out for Nealon. Stevens, opportunity from a different angle. It's coming together in the penalty area. Nick Emmanuel went down. No real appeals apart from him. Luke Sakamoto did the defensive work. Couple of minutes to half-time at McKellar. It's now Belconnen 8, Tuggeranong 0. They could get plenty today. Belconnen's women's team. That one's done and dusted already by a long way.
Then you just start to question, will Scott Conlon make changes?
Probably won't help them if they do, because the bench has got some young goal-scoring talent on it. Samantha Shea might be in line for a debut this afternoon. You'd think she'll get on at this stage, with the team already 8-0 up.
We've said all season, actually, what is winning Belconnen games in the tighter matches is those substitutions that Scott Conlon's making, both against Olympic and against Kambah, Croatia more recently. And, yeah, strength in depth that he's certainly got.
Now the dominant side, it is up to everyone else in the league to try and find a way to get to that level. Ryan Straub with the corner. It was from a set piece that Monero made the breakthrough. It's in towards Kreskus. Well, he fancied it as well. 2 overheads at that end.
Must be a bit spongy on there. They seem quite happy to land on the surface and a bit acrobatic. Decent connection from both hits. Manda before and Kreskus that time.
It's good balance, isn't it? I almost fell over on the ground earlier on. Just walking.
It's nothing to do with the ground now.
Is that old age?
Just age.
That's exactly what it is.
Just walking.
Yeah, everything hurts, doesn't it? Cook forward. Emmanuel. There was a sneaky little nudge in the back by Fernando, who's been taken out by Stevens in response, and nothing given either way. Emmanuel Pedersen helped on by Stevens. Neelan went out of play. Well, what do you reckon? Free kick either way, perhaps?
Yeah, but sometimes it's quite nice to see some combat going on and not the ref blowing his whistle and throwing cards out every 5 minutes. So let's get on with the game.
Which we are. Foxall again trying to get his team motivated to drive forward. It's still very much a contest, this one. Kreskus' goal, the difference. Won by Falco. Fernando, Manda nods it down for Barac. Bursting through, Daniel Barac, lovely back heel for Manda. Working this wonderfully at the moment, and there's an opportunity for Kreskus, who scooped it over. That would have been a wonderful goal from Monaro Panthers. The finish, the only thing lacking.
Brilliant combination play across the front, wasn't it? And, just unfortunate, just didn't get his head over the ball when he made contact to get the finish. But Manda Barrett's just showing that, yeah, okay, they'd love Dominici in the team, but they can certainly cope when he's not.
They are doing well enough without him at the moment. Some player to be able to bring back, though, into the final minute of the first half. West Canberra Wanderers still lead Majura by 2-0. If you missed it earlier today, Canberra, Croatia were 3-1 winners in Griffith against Ugali. Who will now be bottom of the table after Gungahlin got a point at High Street yesterday. Pedersen leaves one in on Fernando. As we approach half-time here at High Street, Kambah 2. I'm thinking about my half-time cup of tea, to be honest. And you're thinking about...
That canteen better still be open since
it'll still be open. It'll be beaten.
Dragged me up here kicking and screaming in time.
Just got to get here earlier, mate. I keep telling you.
I couldn't.
You were 3-2 up, you said. Could have just walked away from it.
No, you can't walk away when you're 3-2 up.
Marco Gaia.
Michael Aldred would have been happy for me to do that anyway. I was doing his heading today.
Has he got over the fact that Sheffield United didn't get promoted
No,
yet?
He's definitely not got over the fact. No.
Lost to Sunderland.
It's funny, he was telling me that he was coaching. He was quite right. I was stepping in and I was stepping over when he was doing a great job, Michael. And then I set this throwing up and Tiger scored from what was a cross shot. So I'll take every credit for that.
Were you exerting your authority?
I was exerting my authority.
Come on, you got a good general knows when to delegate. Ian, you know this.
Yeah. Got us the win, though, didn't it? It's all about me.
Walker sends it forward. Emmanuel might be in, or the whistle goes. And the whistle goes again, this time for half-time, and Monero Panthers will go in, Ian, with a narrow advantage. One that they probably deserve on the balance of play, but there's enough in this to let Tuggeranong think that they could get something out of this in the second 45.
I think that Monero Panthers have had the lion's share of the game. They've created more chances from open play and set pieces, so they've definitely had the better of the game. But it's 1-0 at Tuggeranong, and Mitch Stevens will certainly expect his team to get a chance or two in the second half.
Tuggeranong United go into the break trailing. Unfortunately for them, in the last time these two played, in the first 15 minutes of the second half, the Panthers scored 5 times. Tuggeranong will be hoping that history doesn't repeat itself, but they'll need to do something going forwards to get something out of the match because of the break here. Christian Kreska's smartly taken volley on 21 minutes is the difference. It's Tuggeranong United 0, Monero Panthers 1.
Believe me, it's always open there.
Now we're playing that sort of. Now we're. Yeah, hello, Dylan. now that we're playing, every time you make a mistake, we're all going to jump on each other's back.
Fuck, nigga. What are you doing? This is the permit? Soon. Maybe 30 minutes out. And I believe it can get to like wine levels of maybe.
Wine levels.
Yep.
So is that like alcohol percentage you're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, yeah.
Well, the first batch I made were like. Well, no, it's anyone.
Adam, this way. You're brave wearing white trainers on a day like this.
Hey, it's about where you walk. You plan your life, mate.
How you walk.
What do you eat now, mate?
Hmm?
What do you got there?
Picnic.
Cheat day for you.
Every day's a cheat day. When you look like this.
It's a halftime special, mate.
barrier.
Welcome back to Kambah 2 at half-time. Monaro Panthers lead Tuggeranong United by 1-0. It's very cold here, but unlike RT, which myself and Ian Worthington have got where it's scalding hot in, isn't it? It's pretty warm.
$2 tea, though, absolute bargain.
$2 for a tea, I know. What an absolute steal that is. For Tuggeranong United. Cassidy Schlesinger, newly signed from Blacktown City. Guessing this is his family.
I'm guessing I still can't pronounce his surname.
You're doing well. Go
Cassidy
again.
will do for me.
Try again.
Schlesinger.
One more time.
Listen, Keisha's listening. I will not be saying that a second time. After the stick I was giving you, Per, yesterday.
Oh, I know. Karma. Karma comes back to bite you.
Yeah.
Half-time at McKellar. There's actually been another goal in the first minute of the second half. It's Belconnen United 9. Tuggeranong United 0. Annika Corrie had 4 in the first half. Last week's player of the match in the cup final. Carrying on where she left off in terms of goals. Bagging them in.
Did a bit of shooting with her in a session on Friday night as well, so that might have helped a bit.
Yeah, doubt it. I've seen you shoot. Oh, no, she
was shooting, not me.
I was going to say. Frank saying, say it. Can you actually say Schlesinger? Go on, have a go.
No.
Come on, you're going to have to.
No.
Come on, it's not that hard.
I'm just not baying to his requests.
I wonder if Frank got his chocolate milkshake on the way home yesterday. Anyway, I'm sure he'll let us know.
He's supping something much nice than that with the picture he sent before. Enjoying his afternoon.
Max Mellick's ball forward for Daniel Barach early in the second half. This is the second of 2 NPL games this afternoon. Monaro Panthers versus Tuggeranong here. Croatia having already won 3-1 away at Ugali. Here's Marco Gaia. They'll look for a fast start. Sam Walker stretches a leg out and it will be a corner. And a bright start for the Panthers. 30 seconds into the second half. Get themselves a set piece. Tell you, Marco Jadric, Ryan Keir, and Daniel Colbertaldo, the scorers down in Griffith. That was for Croatia. Joey Seo pulled one back with 10 minutes to go for the home team. And apparently Frank did not get his chocolate milkshake. Maybe next week, Frank. We will see. Fernando. Marco Gaia.
Been more hot chocolate today, wouldn't it, than chocolate milkshake,
100%.
I would think.
Justin on the camera had a hot chocolate at half-time. He's finished it, so it can't have been as scalding hot as that was.
No.
Good chat with Andy Pennell at half-time. He was here. Former Socceroo legend, of course. I wonder if those lights will come on today, and it's a bit gloomy, isn't it? But the rain is holding off at the moment, as it has done throughout the 90 minutes.
Yeah, we had all the rain this morning, but so far it's held off, hasn't it? Don't mind a bit of rain, though, because this surface, when dry, is extremely bouncy and bobbly. So getting the rain on it before the game made it nice and slick, and it's easier to play on.
How are your feet holding up? A bit cold?
No, not bad. I've got 2 pairs of socks on today.
I've only got 1 pair of thermals, but they got a bit damp, and that's obviously a bad thing.
That is a problem.
Yeah, I might have to go 2 pairs next week. It's getting to that time of year. 14 pairs of socks to keep your feet warm in Canberra.
Yeah.
Some hardy souls from the old boys club are under the blue marquee to over across from us.
Just plug Rhythm Snow Sports for all of your...
Rhythm Snow Sports and Mick Klima are an absolute lifesaver. Hooks me up once every couple of years or so, and it is incredible stuff to keep me warm.
I'd love to have a batch like you got off, Mick. Great guy, looks after that.
Tell me you work for Tigers.
Well, I'm not cheeky enough to go asking for, freebies. But if we did plug Rhythm Snow Sports and all of that, wonderful.
He's just such a nice bloke. It all came about one time because I was at the AIS and complaining about how freezing cold it was up there on a Wednesday night. And next time I saw him, he had some goodies for me, which kept me nice and toasty.
You should be wearing Rhythm Snow Sports goodies today.
I've got some on, but just not the socks at the moment because they were in the wash because I wore them yesterday. Here's Neelan. Pulls it back to the edge of the area. Pedersen's got a shooting chance here. Fizzes one in. That's really well held. by Mehmetaj. Wasn't tested too much in the first half, but he's come up trumps with that one. That's a good save.
Just a bit closer together, weren't they? And as the ball comes out, it's a good strike, and Mehmetaj just kept it nice and close to his body, didn't spill it, and it's a decent save.
Had to hold on to it, didn't he? Because Tuggeranong players were hunting for the rebounds. Fernando with the free kick, looking for Manda. Flag's gone up here. I think it may have been it might have been offside, but it may have been a shove as well. I'm not sure. It could have been offside. Walker has it for Tuggeranong. Goes long for Foxall. Couldn't get a touch on it. Gaia could. Smith. Straub. Looks to clip one down the middle. Burkray was in the way. Foxall finds Walker. Schlesinger. Emmanuel. Schlesinger again. That's a nice touch from Kreskis. McLaren can slide one through towards Barach. Really well defended. Falco needed to be, otherwise Barach might have been able to roll him and get clear. Meanwhile, Foxall's got a heap of space to run into.
Good pocket of space he found, and then Stevie Nealon just wanted that forward pass to come much earlier than it did, and dispossessed, and Monaro Panthers back on the attack with it.
Great tackle from Max Melik. Here's for Keddy Manda. He's got pace. He got away. Was there a little shove in the back? No, says the referee.
Only because he stepped across his path. There wasn't an actual push. But great turn of speed from Manda.
For Keddy Manda, for those of you watching Interstate, you might remember him in O'Connor Knight's colours last season, scoring a bullet header against MacArthur in the Hana Australia Cup round of 32 at GIO Stadium. Panthers led 1-0 against the Cup winners. Good night that was as well. It won't be O'Connor's turn this year, Canberra. Croatia flying the flag for capital football and all our clubs in this region. And we wish them well, don't we, Ian?
Yeah, we do. They're certainly in good form to go into that competition with how they've started and continued with a run of form throughout this domestic season here. They've been fantastic from back to front.
Free kick. Paul McCaw letting Harrison Cracknell knows what he thinks of it. Here's Gaia. Kichenko. Mehmetaj. Max Melik forces it forward for Straub. Tuggeranong pressing high, but that ball has sent Manda on his way. Falco needs to time the back pass, and he does. Cook into the gloom. Well, one by Melik, and Manda's offside again.
Shout out to Josh Calabria, who's expressing how much he's enjoying watching his former club Monero play at Tuggeranong on Kambah today.
Josh Calabria, aka the Egyptian King. Not because he looks like Mo Salah, but because he dressed up as Tutankhamun, didn't he?
Yeah, those were the days, weren't they?
You won't be surprised to understand or to hear, Ian, that it's double figures for the Blue Devils 10 minutes into the second half in the NPLW. Balcony United 10, Tuggeranong United 0. It really is a question of how many they want to score, the Blue Devils. Here goes Manda.
And that's the first game without Izzy Hindmarsh, who flew off to Europe yesterday, middle of the afternoon. So, yeah, she's not in Belconnen colours for a few weeks or a few games.
Clearly missing her.
Gives opportunities for others to get their place in the team while she's away and keep her out when she's back.
It's a difficult team to get into. Difficult team to play yourself out of once you're in it as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, certainly the way that they're playing at the moment.
Well, they've got 10. There might be some more. Plenty of time left.
Yeah.
Here, it's in the balance. Monero still lead by that early goal from Kreskas. Manda plays it on. Barac is in and finishes, but the flag is up. It won't count. It's a good finish from Daniel Barac, but the return ball from Manda, he may have been marginally offside.
He's claiming that he's run beyond, hasn't he? Then Manda, as the pass was played, he's ran past him.
Harold Spanner over there was right in line with it, though. Walker forward. Just a warning for Tuggeranong if they needed one, that you can't let the Golden Boot leading striker have a sniff of goal. Nick Emanuel driving forward. Neelan, great drop of the shoulder, and he's away from Gaia. Pull back was cleared by Kachenko as far as Foxall. Stevens. Oh, that's loose from Luke Stevens. He's cross with himself. Better than that, isn't he? Tuggeranong have options on the bench. Romeo Jambrek, one of them. I don't know if we'll see a striking change or additional forces.
Yeah, I'd be tending to put somebody up with Stevie Neelan as opposed to bring him on to replace him, and Romeo could certainly be that player. He certainly knows where the back of the net is himself.
It's a nice touch from Melik. Allowed to drift in field as well, and he almost picked out Kreskas. Walker got rid of the ball. Emmanuel. Nick Emanuel. There's a pull on Marco Gaia. He might get a card here, Nick Emanuel. I think he probably will. And a little bit of afters, and unnecessary afters, I would suggest. Second yellow card of the campaign for Nick Emanuel. Kreskas over the free kick. Not much doubt about that one here.
Had his pants down, quite literally. Wasn't a pull of the shirt, was it?
No. Wonder if that's the last action that Marco Gaia might see in this football match. Looks like it, doesn't it?
And it looks like Sam Rossbacken making his return.
It is. 114th National Premier League appearance for Sam Rossbacken. Was going to sit this season out, wasn't he? And then I think he's just missed it too much.
Shock.
Yeah. And now he is back in Panthers colours.
Yeah, great addition for Monaro Panthers to have Sam Rossbacken back in the team.
Played for Kambah Olympic last year. Kreskas whips that in. Cook elects to punch. Comes for Cal Smith. Oh, he caught that sweetly. That's a really good block by Manuel. That was flying.
Yeah, it was. It doesn't happen if the keeper gets hold of it rather than punches it at hip height, but that was his choice. Nearly came back at him if it wasn't for the block.
Very European way of goalkeeping and a continental way of goalkeeping, as they say. Troy Boots would have been unhappy with that, wouldn't he?
Absolutely,
catch the football. First touch for Rossbacken. Melik switch of play. Kreskas. Look for the reverse ball for Barac, but Walker read it well. He's doing well back there, Sam Walker, as a central defensive option in the absence of Ewan Peterkin, but they do miss his creativity, don't they?
Well, I don't know whether they'd have somebody to replace him in there and put him higher up the pitch and just combine a little bit more with Stevie Neelan. If they're going to start putting it up to a point of attack, then they need that big body that Stevie Neelan can play off. And for me, that'd be the switch in tactics, so long as Tuggeranong have got somebody who can play back there.
Which they don't, unfortunately. Their bench today, Tim Santos is a left-sided defensive fullback. They've got Alessandro Pena and Romeo Jambrek, who are forward-oriented technicians, and Javier Davis, who's a box-to-box midfielder. He's got the height to play central defence, but whether or not he's got the ability, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't he? He's going to come on here for Bevan Foxall in a like-for-like midfield change. Had a good season, Jabby Davis. This is the first time he's come off the bench this year. He's been in the league, been an ever-present in the midfield.
And this certainly, like you say, looks like a like-for-like change as opposed to a tactical change, but we shall see.
It's come off Stevens. Perhaps Mitch Stevens caught in that area at the moment where we're still in the contest. He'd be saying, wouldn't he? And yet, they need to create an opportunity from somewhere. Here's Balach, been busy as usual. Manda, that's a lovely little check of the body, and he'll win a corner off it. Just let it roll across him, it's good to watch. Where Kreskas is taking that, does that look like that's in the quadrant to you?
Sort of.
It's a massive quadrant if it is. Cook's clutched it out of the sky anyway.
It was a good take, wasn't it?
Too close to the keeper. Fernando wins the header. Emmanuel's header goes straight to Straub. Manda helps it on to Kreskas. Looking for Balach. Cole away. One back by McLaren. Rosbakken. Smith to Fernando. Kreskas. Well, they trod on the ball, and Stevens tries to put Nealon in. Haven't really given him a chance at all this afternoon, Steve Nealon, to show what he can do in front of goal. Mind you, when we were at Gungahlin the other week, where I was, Ian, and with Steve Forshaw, Steve Nealon did not have a sniff for most of the match. Indeed, he didn't really have an eye opening on goal until the 73rd minute. But when it fell to him, guess what happens?
We'll soon see.
Here
Got the ball
Nealon
now.
Looking to take on Fernando, who stood strong and is helped out defensively by Rosbakken. Yeah, he had one sighting of goal, and it ended up in the back of the net, and it put his team 3-2 ahead. And that's what good strikers do, isn't it?
Well, he ain't going to switch off until the game's over, or Mitch Stevens takes him off, is he? So there's always a potential for a goal in him. He's always alive. He's always, you know, in and around the box when those chances come. It's just creating those chances.
Stevens to whip it into the danger area. Walker wins the header. Too close. Not enough pace. 65 minutes gone at McKellar Park. Balcony United 13. Tuggeranong United 0. We might be looking somewhere close to record territory by the end of that one.
Yeah, what is the record for a first-team game?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I don't know off the top of my head.
You are the stat man.
I'm convinced I did a game once a while back when Maine McLaughlin scored 6, and it might have been 17 or 18. Here's Rosbakken running through. McLaren.
That might be the first time since 2018 I've asked you a stat question that you don't know the answer to. Got you.
Yeah, you have to.
Taking years.
Not off the top of my head.
You'll know by 7 o'clock tonight.
It's
though.
in my bag. It's definitely in my bag on the head-to-head list.
I expect that text message a bit later.
Nealon tries to play it forward. Rosbakken. Yeah, there's been a couple of big results. Might be a moot point. They might not get any more. McLaren. Well, that's a mistake by Falco. And McLaren looks to tee up for Kenny Manda. Here's a chance. Good block, Walker. Manda tried to go back across the goalkeeper with his finish.
I expected Manda to hit it a little bit better than that then.
We didn't get enough of it, did he?
Quiet crowd today. Quite a few people have been involved in games all day, out in the cold, in the rain, and maybe many have just returned home as the ball comes in.
Good ball into the area again. Pedersen got rid of it. Memitage finds Rosbakken. Balach. Well, Tuggeranong stopped thinking it was theirs. Balach got on with it. Rosbakken. He'll obviously be a bit rusty, Ian, because he's not played for quite some time. But when he gets going and into his groove, he'll be a good pickup for Monero.
One thing you always get with Sam is whole heart, 100% effort. You know, he's fit as a fiddle and drives the team, aggressive, decent defender. And yeah, Monero will be happy to have him back.
Callum Cook with the goal kick. Time the enemy for Tuggeranong United as they seek to get way into this. Approaching the 20th minute of the second half. Still only the one goal. Christian Kreskus. Pedersen. Stevens. Nice turn in midfield. Finds Javi Davis. His first involvement. Walker. They're forced backwards again, Tuggeranong. Cook's forced to go long. And that's playing into the hands of the Panthers. McLaren and Kreskus exchanging volleys. Fernando clips it up. McLaren, good little nick on that with the header, but Burkcraig can come forward. Emmanuel. Fernando had a piece, and then Kreskus finished him off.
Simple free kick to award. Carry on.
Well, Walker to take. Tuggeranong had few and far clear-cut opportunities. He's trying to find a Schlesinger with that one.
He ain't going to beat Christian Kreskus with that when he's got his back to goal. Can defend as well as get forward in droves. Can Christian Kreskus, having a very good season himself. A couple of Man of the Match awards, one notably last week.
Smith. Might be able to give you a Man of the Match award if you can go through the whole 45 minutes without mentioning Cassidy Schlesinger's surname.
Who, Cassidy? Yeah. He knows.
Davis. Well, Pedersen let it run. Kachenko read the intention and now finds Barach. He's looking to wrap his foot around it for man, that didn't work. But it was a nice idea from Daniel Barach. Sakamoto. Davis forced to come in field. Sorry, Stevens was over on that far side. Kachenko. Melik hooks it out of play. We're going to get a substitution for the Panthers.
Jack Elwood by the looks of it.
Coming on for Callum Smith. And a Tuggeranong change as well, it would seem. Nick Emmanuel is coming off. Romeo Jambrek is coming on.
Now this could be a change. Unless Stephen Elan goes out onto the left, but maybe they are just trying to get a better connection up in that final third between Romeo and Steve Neelan.
Blue Devils have got themselves another at McKellar. Points done and dusted and goal difference through the roof. Meanwhile, West Canberra Wanderers are 3-0 up over Majura at Melrose. They look good for the points as well, West Canberra.
Look decent when I've seen West Canberra this year. Got some very good players throughout that team.
Look like they've got the points in the bag themselves. 3 points for Balconnen, 3 points for West Canberra Wanderers. Will it be 3 points for Monero Panthers to follow the 3 points won by Canberra, Croatia? Still got some work to do here. Tuggeranong want a free kick and they get one. Stevens upended. Have they done enough for you, Ian, to warrant an equaliser, Tuggeranong, in an attacking sense?
No, in a word. They've not created enough. They've just been crowded out by the back three at Monero and Straub in front of that. McLaren marshalling in front of that. They've they've not been able to break through at all as yet.
Falco looking to change it. Not with a pass like that either. Jack Elwood's first involvement, well, it was a pass of somebody who's just come off the bench, wasn't it? As Manda was in front of him. Nice idea from Elwood. Head down. McLaren's giving him a word. Not happy with himself, is he, Jack Elwood, with that pass?
Certainly not by the look of his body language.
Yeah, all the parents who were here with the young kids have taken them home.
Yeah, the fields were buzzing when I arrived. I think Tuggeranong played Monero at all junior levels in the NPL as well, and some of the Tuggeranong mini roos here. It was buzzing before, but for many, it's too cold, and I think that's just for the parents as well as the kids. It's that Sunday roast day and a glass of choice for the parents.
Well, I'll be back here next Sunday. Tuggeranong United versus Ugali. It's the Adam Fry Memorial Shield Day next Sunday. It will be absolutely heaving down here. Across the 2 days, every single Tuggeranong United team, from Community League to juniors all the way up to NPL and first grade, will be at home. And all funds raised that day, I think the gold coin thrown around, donations and all sorts, is going to go towards charity. Ball flicked in. And that heads wide. It will be a corner for Tuggeranong, but that will be busy next week. Plenty of people around. Remember, I don't know if you saw it at the beginning, there was a little Optus match on the field between two games, two teams.
I did.
There'll be 5 of those going on the field next week. There'll be kids everywhere.
Well, that's fabulous for the community and the club on a Memorial Day where I hope they raise loads of money.
Happens every year, this Adam Fry Memorial. Stevens into the near post. Nodded away. Wicked forward. Straub's won it. Might come for Sakamoto. Burkrate. He's giving it straight to Fakedi. Manda. And then Burkrate upends him and will give himself a yellow card for his trouble.
Not his finest moment, Burkrate, was it?
Well, he played himself into the problem. I mean, he got himself out of it. Picks himself up a yellow card at the same time. So if you're around next week on Sunday, feel free to head down to Kambah to... I'm sure there'll be a real festival feel. I hope the weather stays good for it. Here's Elwood. Could do with it being a notch or two warmer than today. Pedersen. Ball forward from Sakamoto is not bad. Kichenko won the header though.
The Monaro faithful giving the linesman a bit of jip here on this right hand side, thinking it was offside.
Looked all right from where we were, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe we didn't have the same angle as they did.
Well,
over to the right.
Their pitch level. They got a better angle, maybe. Anyway, it wasn't given. McLaren fights Fernando. Barach, a little nutmeg on Walker, and here's Straub away. 2 up in support inside him. Barach outside. Here is Daniel Barach. And the pass didn't pick out a pink and white shirt. Cole Falco made sure. Schlesinger to send one for Neelan. Kichenko, though, and Memitage between them managed to deal with the danger. Sam Watson's just sent me a message asking me what the record score is in the NPLW, because he's commentating that game out at McKellar.
He wouldn't have heard our question before because he's commentating, so...
I said exactly the same thing. I said the same thing. It's off the top of my head, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Come off Neelan's knee. He's talking about that because it's 14-0 up there at the moment. Manda having a go at Burkrate and finding Barach, who almost found a way through. Falco and Burkrate between them, and Walker at the second attempt should clear. Jambrek, Schlesinger. McLaren steps in front of him looking for the free kick. Didn't get it, but the Panthers have got the ball back anyway. Kichenko, who's giving it away to Jambrek, who in turn gives it away to Fernando.
Scrappy period of play, isn't it?
That's a bit better from Fernando to find Kreskas. Barach inside him. Kreskas wants the return. Manda calls for it far post, and Kreskas almost caught Cook out on the near post. Not sure he meant it.
I don't think he did. I think he was looking for Manda at the far post, but he nearly caught the keeper out at his near post.
Kreskas will take. That must be the biggest quadrant I've ever seen. I'm looking at it again. It's almost like half a metre from the corner flag.
Yeah, I can't see from here.
Swings it in. Oh, McLaren was up there. Manda gets it back across goal, and Cook manages to keep hold of it. Tuggeranong seeking something, anything. 16 minutes to go to try and force their way back into it. Shabby Davis, Schlesinger, Neelan onside. Now, can he ever run at them here, Steve Neelan? Few and far between these opportunities for him to do so. Goes across, finds Sakamoto. Stevens was on his heels. Made it easy for Melik. Manda with Sakamoto. Barach. Straub. Jack Elwood was furthest forward. McLaren. Fernando. Schlesinger. Excellent work to slide in. Likewise, Kreskas. Jambrek always slipped. Romeo Jambrek, who bought quite a few packets of those cards we were talking about earlier on.
Is he in any of them?
He is. He bought many packets. I won't tell you how many. To try and find one of himself, and it took several openings to find one. Here's Kreskas. Walker. Stevens. Here's Jambrek. They did tell me in the canteen, Ian, that some gentleman, I don't know who it was, nobody knows, bought 40 packets of cards at $5 a head. Good fun, good fundraising.
Maybe that's what it was for.
It wasn't Romeo. $200 worth of cards. That's a great bit of fundraising. Walker forward. One by Stevens. Sakamoto to send it in towards Neelan. Kreskas, safety first. Manda did well. Wasn't you, was it?
We haven't got that kind of money, mate. I'd buy a football shirt, but maybe not a pack of cards.
Yeah, I haven't either. Got to feed my kids.
Feeding cards.
They can't eat.
They
cards.
collect Pokemons, yours, don't they?
Yeah, but you can buy 400 Pokemons for like $5. I don't know if they collect Pokemons rather than just like ones and stick them on their wall with blue tack. Trade them at school with their mates.
Great fun.
Walker forward. Not like the old Adidas Panini stickers. Got, not got, need.
Got, swap, not got.
Yeah.
Good fun, that.
It was, wasn't it? I'll swap you 3 Steve Fosters for a shiny Brighton. Here's Manda. I'm glad you got that one. Here's Manda again. It's a good trade. That's how you learn, wasn't it? To negotiate.
It was.
Back in the day. Yeah. With these stickers.
Shiners for what you sometimes got if you didn't negotiate properly.
Yeah. I don't want to school you into, my friend.
I've said this before, I didn't.
bit rougher than mine.
Very much so.
Samaras Barker with the throw. Manda. Panthers have threatened a second. They haven't been able to find a goal to kill off Tuggeranong United. It's been a bitty, scrappy second half. Not been the best watch for us, but it's been entertaining. West Canberra lead 3-0. I'm just told that Belconnen are now up to 17. So they must be edging closer to whatever record it might be. I'll double check that later on tonight, and we'll bring you all that news on the Capital Football website and social medias, of course. I tell you what, somebody must be scoring some goals, if it's that many. Not a great look, though, is it?
Not particularly from a competitive standpoint of our leading women's competition.
There's a change. Free kick. I'm wondering if there will be a change. If Stevens will have a look at his bench.
It looks like there's one imminent
Yeah.
over there.
Alessandro Pena. It's good take that by Cook. Sakamoto. Cole Falco. Looking to switch it. George Schlesinger.
No nonsense from Kreskus. That just allows his team just to get their shape back behind the ball, which as well as they attack Monaro Panthers, they've also been very solid defensively.
Luke Stevens is about to come off for Alessandro Pena. Sam Watson tells me Ian that Peltine and Annika Correa have got 4 goals apiece, and then the rest of them have been shared around. So
Must be most of the team have scored
you
then if
think
they've been
so, if
shared
that's the
around.
case, yeah. Cole Falco with the throw. Can he launch one into the penalty area? Looking for the head of Walker, who helps it on. Memitaj, though, was in the way. He's been solid, hasn't he, Gamir Memitaj? Tasked with replacing Heathilic today, and he's done it really well.
Yeah. I was actually distracted with what I thought was a ball boy getting the ball, and it's actually Rob Googleman from from behind. So he that sort of disappeared behind the fence behind us. And
Are you comparing Rob Googleman's size to a ball boy?
I was just mistaken. That was all.
You're saying he's not very tall?
He's not very tall. He'll tell you that himself if you can see him. He was being mocked by Alex Tyne at the same time, though, so I don't think I'm by myself.
Pena's ball forward. Kachenko's won the header. Melik finds Rosbakken. Barach. Straub. He's been neat and tidy again, Ryan Straub.
Oh, he's been class every week, well, most weeks this season for Monero Panthers.
Saying Tuggeranong need to create something. If they can give Neelan half a chance, they might be a shout of getting something from this contest. But the more they gamble, the more they might give an opportunity to Daniel Barach at the other end, who has been in lethal form this season in front of goal. 10 league goals, 1 in the cup for him as well. Walker shanks it into the path of Schlesinger. Is Elwood. Kachenko. Lift their game in. 9 minutes to go.
They're going to have to. Because if anyone's going to score next, you'd think it might be Monero Panthers who lift a gear, but we'll see now.
Neelan half a yard on Kachenko, who's quick across the ground himself. Very good defender, Robert Kachenko.
He's very good at everything, isn't he? Wherever you put him, he's reliable. He's having a brilliant season for the Panthers.
It's a chance, though, for Cole Falco to wind up one of these howitzer-like throws. Dylan Burkray in there. Sam Walker as well. It's launched in towards Burkray. It's a good win by McLaren. Neelan will win it back for Tuggeranong and send in a delightful ball to Jambrek, who almost helped it on to Pena. That's a great shape on that ball from Steve Neelan.
Yeah, we had a lovely view of that, didn't it? From a deep area, he whipped it in. And like I say, Romeo was just given that extra body at the front end, and somebody for Steve Neelan to play. 2 albeit we've not got long left.
We've got about 7 plus stoppage time to go. Harrison Cracknell is asking Gary Memitage to get on with it. Ten times the teams have met here before today. Tuggeranong 7 wins. Panthers have only ever won twice on their visits to Tuggeranong. Are they about to make it 3? Or will there be a twist in the tale? Falco goes across again. Berkray jogs forward again. Tuggeranong hope again.
With a long throw again.
The Sacramento sling straight down the throat of Gary Memitage.
Done well coming for that, hasn't he, Memitage?
Done well all game, hasn't he?
Yeah, solid.
Everything's been asked of him, he's kept hold of. Everything he's asked of him, he's controlled. Can Tuggeranong United, though, blocked his copybook. West Canberra Wanderers easing their way. We've got a couple of minutes left, and McKellar and Belconnen are 1 away from 20. Sam Watson's out there commentating. He must be on his second notebook by now. Pedersen, Jambrek.
Good defending yet again.
If there was any hope of anybody catching Belconnen United in the league in the women's, their goal difference now is going to be through the roof as well, Ian. That's going to be worth an extra point, isn't it? For what that's worth.
Yeah.
Walker sends it into the area. And it's hooked away. Team with 5.
She's not been starting either. I wonder whether she's come off the bench and got 5.
Well, she had 2 in the first half, so I think she started today.
Yeah, that answers that then.
Might have been an early sub.
Could have been. I'm going to say not. I'm going to say she started. Maybe replaced Izzy Hindmarsh in that midfield.
Falco, Pena, Sakamoto. Knocking on the door, Tuggeranong, again, like we did, Monero did in the first half, but it's not been a performance that I think Mitch Stevens would be particularly pleased about. It's a good ball from Walker.
Sort of spun back.
Yeah, off the side of the Birch Schlesinger. Robbed by Kreskus, though. McLaren. And I know the needs must. We've spoken about this, Ian, about needs must with Walker in the centre of defence at the moment because there's no one else that can particularly play there. But they, going forwards, without his creativity and his just calm head, the link, the midfield and the attack, it just looks a little bit less potent.
It's just lacking something direct that maybe that Tuggeranong are going to need in the last 5 minutes or so of this game, where if they did take a bit of a risk and put Walker up there, then they've actually got a target to play off with Romeo and Steve kneeling around him. And, you know, if it's a case of needs must, then do you take that risk and just put him as that target and get balls up to him late in the game?
Maybe they need to, because time is running out for them. They've got 2.5 minutes to do so. Just as an incidental, Talia Backhouse has come on to make a return for Belconnen, and she scored goal number 20 for the Blue Devils, who are potentially rewriting the record books at McKellar. Here's Barach darting through. Can he find a finish? It's not a bad ball. Sakamoto needs to be careful. Rosbakken was interested.
Certainly need to be careful when Sam Rosbacken's running at that speed. Like a juggernaut.
Kept charging in. And we've got 2 minutes. Whilst there's goals rattling in up at McKellar. They're at a premium here at Kambah too. But wouldn't the hosts love one now? Walker under pressure from Barach. Wins a free kick. Is there time? Is there a chance? Jabi Davis. Stepping through. It's finished at McKellar. I don't think they added any time on, thankfully. Blue Devils in sensational goal-scoring form. Balcony United 20. Tuggeranong United 0. Sounds like a rugby score. Walker. Burkray. Cook. They need to get it up the other end. Falco. One break of the ball. And they'll be back in the game. Pena drew the challenge and has a pop himself. Ambitious effort.
Yeah, very ambitious from there when you've got two bodies in the box at that time.
And it will be frustrating as well. 30 seconds plus stoppage time to go.
I think this game will be seen out without the lights coming on, and at some quite early on in the game we wondered whether they'd need to, because it became very dark. Referee blows his whistle as Memataj is about to kick it.
To tell him to kick it.
Time to kick it, yeah. What's going to do, give a yellow card himself?
McLaren helps it on. Walker nods it away. Fernando climbs above Jambrek. Barach kept it in, but only for Walker, who's looking for Neelan. Nice run down the channel, but Kachenko has marshalled him very well this afternoon.
Just marshalled across that back line extremely well when required.
One more time, perhaps, for Cole Falco. Into stoppage time. He goes short for Schlesinger. Falco from the boots wins a corner kick. No chance of Cal Cook going forward. Alessandro Pena to take. Schlesinger's gone short for it. Good run. Took two with him, but Pena wasn't alert enough. And now he whips it into the danger area. It might come here for Schlesinger. Jambrek, Schlesinger through the crowd. Deflected, great save, Memataj. Might well have preserved his team 3 points. Quite brilliant stop from the goalkeeper. Deflection wrong-footed him. And the reactions were superb. It's not done yet. But Gary Memataj, well, he might well have justified his selection in that moment.
Yeah, he's not been called upon much at all in the game today, but he did then. That reaction to go to his left and keep it out was fantastic, because all of his body was leaning to the right as the deflection happened, and brilliant for Memataj.
Quite sensational stop. Here's Barach. And Elwood. Chance to hit it. Cook had it covered.
Very good hit from Jack Elwood with his right foot, predominantly left-footed, but can use both. And yeah, nice early snapshot to try and catch the keeper out.
Walker's gone long. Melik won the header. Sakamoto's launched it towards Neelan, who's fouled Kachenko.
Yeah, he's gone into him, hasn't he? And I think that's the difficulty.
2 minutes into the second half, into stoppage time. The home support might well be giving up on this one. Manda's nodding it wide. Falco. Rusbakken. Sakamoto was there, but Rusbakken still got it. It will be a Tuggeranong free kick. Maybe they will get one final chance then. We're approaching the end of 3 minutes of stoppage time. And the free kick isn't good enough. Sakamoto's put pressure onto Burkray. They're going to need to go from one end to the other. Cook. Falco. And that's not good enough from Cole Falco. And Harrison Cracknell brings it to a conclusion. And it is Monero Panthers who will go away with the 3 points. Ian Worthington, not the prettiest of watches, but effective nonetheless from the visitors.
Pretty solid from Monero, though, wasn't it? You know, sometimes you've got to just grind out those 1-0 wins, and that's certainly what they've done today. You know, very professional performance, you'd say, wouldn't it? Well organised from back to front, disciplined defensively. Mehmetaj called on when it was required, and a great stop. But generally, I think Monero were the better team and deserved the win.
Thanks, Ian Worthington. It's a goal from Christian Kreskas, which has put Monero Panthers into second place in the National Premier League table. They will jump above Tigers, who lost yesterday. They will be 8 points behind Kambah, Croatia. It's been another good day for the men from Deakin Stadium. It's been a good day for the men from Strider Park here at Kambah, to the goal from Kreskas midway through the first half. The difference, volleying home Ryan Straub's free kick to make the final score here. Tuggeranong United 0, Monero Panthers 1.